Howdy, howdy. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be, wherever you may be. Today we're going to be talking about self-esteem, essentially, but mainly confidence and criticism within our personal development and self-actualization. Now, confidence is a must in self-improvement and development and just overall success. Now, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. If you're confident, you could come off as a little bit cocky, and that's okay. To project that belief in yourself, but there is that fine line when we get over the edge. Now, in order to understand so many of these topics we hear about in the self-actualization, personal development world, I believe the best way is for us to just look at the dictionary definition of it, and I've pulled that from these interwebs here, and it says, confidence is a feeling of belief that one can rely on someone or something. A firm trust. Now, if we look in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, it talks a lot about faith. There's a chapter of faith, and I'm not talking about religious or spiritual faith, but just belief. If we look at the word faith, even in the Arabic language, the word faith, iman, amana is a trust. Iman is from that root, amana, trust. So a faith is a trust, being able to firmly believe in something, and self-confidence is a firm belief in ourselves. It's knowing that we have the tools, the abilities, the capabilities, or can tap into a certain resource or resources to get out of negative situations and further ourselves. Trusting in oneself, abilities, responsibility, capabilities to succeed, progress, and overcome is important. It's very important in our personal development, and it's our best friend because it readies us for the most important assets. It gives us the ability to tap into, as we talked about just a moment ago, resources. So this confidence is very important, and confidence comes from within. Confidence comes from our skills. Confidence comes from our past. Confidence comes from looking at our past, seeing the good that we've done, seeing everything is in kind of a non-psychological, chronological clock time. If it's a mistake, that yes, we made the mistake and we might not be proud of it. We may be regretful for it, as we should be. However, we've taken it, we've learned from it, and we're building off of that mistake, or our ability to learn from the mistakes of others. So that gives us the ability to tap into certain resources. And for me, in this little snippet, I just kind of want to talk about what I believe one of the most important resources we have is, and that's peer feedback, stranger feedback, just criticism. Criticism, even negative cutting criticism, can be spun. It's all in how we look at it. And I've always told people, and I learned, because I had some teachers, some mentors, who were very, very harsh. And I used to take things very personally, even the things that they said when they had no clue about why I made the mistake I made, the intention behind it, the factors involved. I mean, everything. They chalked it up to excuses, and yeah, a lot of it was my hogwash excuses that they were targeting. However, I learned that even if they're 99% wrong in that criticism, that I can take the 1% that they're right in, and I can own that, and I can learn from it, and further refine myself. So having the confidence, knowing that, hey, I make a mistake, but I am doing, and that's why you're watching these right now. That's why this has piqued your interest. I don't think it's my gorgeous hair. That I have the desire to improve. I realize that my life is a canvas. It's a book that's being written, and to a huge degree, I'm in control of the chapters as I write them paragraph by paragraph, sentence by sentence, word by word, letter by letter, down to the punctuation mark. And that's all in how we take life and how we reflect on it. So criticism is either external or internal. It's not about deprecation. It's not about, feeling so low and being smashed. Of course, sometimes you got to destroy to rebuild. Sometimes you have to level the whole foundation and really sit down and do some really harsh self-criticism. In Alcoholics Anonymous, they call it a searching and fearless moral inventory. But once you do that, you realize it's simply feedback. It's a report card back on where we've done really well, which can build our confidence. And at the same time, where we might not be doing so well, and we should take that as a blessing that, I'm strong enough, I've been through it, I survived it. So I trust that I survived it, that I can kind of shore things up, and if it's something that would, I think it's break all the rules, that would be called a non-talent, okay, I'm going to kind of avoid it. I'll shore it up so it won't be so damaging next time I have to experience something like that, but I'll avoid it. And if it's something that, hey, it is something I'm talented in, but you know what? We're always going to suck the first couple times we try something. It's a trial run. In medicine, they call it practicing medicine. Not because you practice, it's you keep finding out, you're experimenting, so on and so forth. I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to get better next time, and better and better and better. And that's that trust in yourself that, you know what, yeah, I'm a human being, I make mistakes, but I can learn from these mistakes. And with the right confidence, we can accept critique on a mistake, a shortcoming, or a character defect, and appreciate the criticism. When we have a low self-confidence, we take it and we beat ourselves up and we ruminate it, so on and so forth. But if we start to flip it around, and this is what I would say, and this is kind of a little bit tidbit about how I did it. I stopped taking it personally. Even though a lot of it is personal. I do make these mistakes. I do make these screw-ups. But I stopped taking it personally or beating myself up too much over it. Yeah, I feel the regret. Oh man, that was a bonehead move. How did I do that? But I said, you know what? I appreciate it. I appreciate somebody telling me my mistake, even if they're doing it in a harsh way, raking it over the coals. Because after the sting and licking the wounds, I can sit and reflect, and I can say, you know what, I'm really glad it got brought to my attention before it was something completely detrimental that collapsed a relationship, collapsed a business, caused harm to a family member. And a lot of the times we're not always lucky enough to, A, receive the criticism, or B, we're not prepared enough in our confidence. We haven't dropped our ego enough to kind of deconstruct what we believe about ourselves and realize, yeah, I need to take this and I need to learn and grow from it. And, it's just a blessing to get these criticisms in order to be able to improve the area that we've fallen short in, so that way the scenario is going to happen again quite often. Maybe not the exact same scenario that we made the mistake in, that we got criticized for, but something very similar often comes up. I mean, there's not many things in life that are new for us. And it will prepare us for the next time, so then that way we can, bam, we can conquer, we can come out of it, not arrogantly, but just say, yeah, that was me. And we build our confidence from there. And then the new stuff that does come up, that's like, oh my God, how could I have imagined that? When you have the confidence that I faced this adversity, that adversity, this adversity, that adversity, what it does is it makes us say, wow, I can handle this. I can handle this. So I challenge everybody right now. This is what I would say. I would say, go to someone close. And maybe even go to someone sweet for the first time and say, hey, individual, I know, like everyone else, I have many character defects. Could you please give me some feedback about what you think the most detrimental character defect towards my success in business, relationship, social situations, schooling, or any other form of academia, just self-development in general, may be. And let them lay into you and sit there and take it. And don't interrupt and reflect on it. Say thank you, go reflect on it. Take the lick the wound, and say, okay, now how can I improve this? And the great thing about criticism and feedback is even in that, maybe before you go lick your wounds, or I would recommend after, wait 5-10 minutes, 2 days even, and go back to the same person, or go to some new people and say, hey, this is the character defect that's been brought up to me. What would you say is a solution to this? Because you might not be equipped. Maybe you'll find somebody who suffered from that same character defect and they're able to do it themselves. But do this. Take a little criticism to build your self-confidence. And when we do it this way, what happens is when it comes out of left field, unexpected, we've run this experiment a couple times. It's, hey, I've been criticized before. You're learning how to welcome the criticism. It doesn't mean welcome making mistakes and just go willy-nilly and say, yes, I can handle criticism, bring it on. The goal isn't in our life to do things to get us criticized. The goal is to learn how to take the criticism because it's one of our best friends. And when we learn how to take it, it makes it easier to embrace and fix our shortcomings and our character defects. That's all I have on this one. And I hope it's useful. All of these are reminders to myself, and I'm teaching to learn. So I hope everybody is watching this in the best of health and even better spirits, and has a wonderful, beautiful, productive, successful day, evening, morning, whatever it may be, wherever you may be. Have a good one. Bye-bye.